Namaste to all divine beings and happy Janmashtami. Today is the day when Krishna was born, and in India, everyone celebrates with lots of joy and with complete devotion. So we're going to talk about Krishna. Who was he? The character of Krishna is so extraordinary and challenging to understand. He is a politician, a brilliant teacher, and an inspiration on the spiritual path all at once. He is known as Chitchor, which means thief, while also being known as Yogeshwara, the Lord of Yogi. His actions go to both extremes, yet he still manages to strike the ideal balance between them. Krishna had a dusky complexion and was quite attractive. Krishna means black, and the color black also evokes mystery. It is important because Lord Krishna was born on Ashtami, the 8th day of lunar fortnight or the half moon. It suggests that the apparent material world and the invisible spiritual world are in perfect harmony. This denotes Krishna's control over both visible and invisible realms. The gopis, the devotees of Krishna. From his early years, Krishna captured the heart of gopis. He was a very lovely young boy. He was the embodiment of beauty. As a result, from the time Krishna birthed, the gopis have loved him. Over time, tremendous divine love emerged as the manifestation for Krishna. When they churned the curd and drew water from the well, they were the only ones who were thinking of Krishna. They never stopped singing his praises. When eating and at all other times, they thought about him. By consistently practicing smarna, it means remembering the Krishna, their mind evolved into Krishnamaya. Gopi is a Sanskrit term. It means female cowherd. It usually alludes to the cowherding ladies and girls who were devoted to Krishna in Hinduism. The gopis would approach Krishna as he played his flute and begin to dance, the purest form of unconditional love for Krishna. It's also called Shuddha Bhakti, came to be represented by the gopis. There was no physical passion in the gopis' adoration for Krishna. It was the greatest love. Krishna served as a living love for them. He represented the supreme divine in motion. The belief was strong. They forgot about their duties, activities when they thought of Krishna. The love for Krishna bonded them together. The area in Vrindavan where Krishna was raised was supposed to include 108 gopis. The youthful Krishna made a name for himself among them. He was a jokester and a lover. He was cunning because he desired to draw gopis and other followers' attention towards him. Every one of his leelas had a purpose. Even the gopis wanted Krishna to take butter from their home, although he used to do so. The gopis wanted Krishna to accept it out of their intention devotion to him. To accept their prayer, he stole the butter that they used to churn. Also, when gopis were complaining to Mother Yashoda about Krishna, they wanted Krishna to break their paths so they could see him. The gopis' clothing was stolen by Krishna. Additionally, it was an act of Krishna accepting gopis' request for him to be their spouse, because a lady cannot be exposed to a man other than her spouse. He committed this naughty conduct to meet their wishes. A gopi once grabbed Krishna by hand and went to tell his mother about his wrongdoing. Krishna somehow slipped out of her grasp. She discovered that the lost youngster next to his mother. She went back to her home out of embarrassment. He did this to convey to his people that he is omnipresent and that no one may come into contact with or perceive him without his mercy. Each mate of Krishna, maid servants and gopis messenger were the three categories that made of gopis. The Varisha gopis, who are close friends with Radha, Krishna consort, and the most beloved of the gopis, are categorized under the first group of gopis. Radha is Krishna's most cherished gopi. They embody platonic love to the fullest. In contrast to Krishna, Radha is the soul of a human. This is metaphor for the liberation of the soul, or moksha, where the human soul encounters the God and finds emancipation. In contrast to bodily love, Krishna was spiritual. It went beyond what earthly love could accomplish, metaphorically speaking. It is the adoration of the divine soul. Now we will look into Krishna, the Yogeshwara. A yogi is a supreme human creature who forgoes their lower impulses to pursue their higher, nobler goals in life. To demonstrate his level of wisdom and outstanding qualities, a yogi must steadfastly keep his vrata or promise. To fulfill the commitment of his followers, Krishna even went so far as to fortify his vows. His actions demonstrated his superiority as a yogi and his status as Yogeshwara, the Lord of Yogis. Krishna, given a name Yogeshwara, is very appropriate. The master of senses is the most basic meaning of Yogeshwara. To awaken humanity from its slumber and ignorance, Krishna, the Supreme Conscious, decided to come to earth. In his lifetime, Krishna performed several extraordinary exploits. He constantly lived in a happy condition of existence, free from any ties to the physical world. As a Purna Avatar, the whole incarnation, Yogeshwara is one of the names given to the Krishna for this reason. Krishna promoted 4 streams of heavenly understanding in the Bhagavad Gita: the Karma Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, Raj Yoga, and Jnana Yoga. The path of karma is one of selfless action, and the path of bhakti and Jnana Yoga are those for devotion and wisdom, respectively. The Raja Yoga is to calm the mind through meditation in order to reveal the oneness that we are in our true essence, and this is done via the Ashtanga, the 8-limb system that is outlined by Patanjali in the Raj Yoga Sutra. According to Krishna, dharma and karma are 2 important aspects of life, and one should use them carefully when the time is right. He was seen practicing dharma yoga in Vrindavan when he was there. It is living a normal life with love and affection and attachment to your loved ones. His dharma was also seen when he broke his vows of not carrying a weapon in the battlefield. Bhishma vowed to force Krishna to raise a weapon in his hands. Bhishma vows was something he never wanted to break, so Krishna decided to spin a chariot wheel on the battlefield by carrying it in his hand. Krishna was therefore prepared to fail himself to pass his devotee. To demonstrate his identity as Yogeshwara, Krishna leaped several steps higher at this point. There is another incident where Krishna created an illusion of sunset with his power to save Arjuna from getting killed. This may seem unethical during a war. It is also considered as dharma. But when he was in Dwarka, his karma yoga was also clearly visible on the battlefield. An image of Arjuna pleading with Krishna for direction that he can seen on the battlefield right before a massive battle begins. Arjuna is in the midst of moral and psychological crisis, and since he is aware that by participating in this conflict, friends and families would perish on both sides of the front line, his karma and dharma are explained to him by Lord Krishna. The role and significance of karma are explained to Arjuna by Krishna. One cannot genuinely be free simply by evading one's obligation, he claims, and everyone is tied by their karmic reaction or responsibility. They can only obtain the perfection of knowledge and real freedom after purifying their thoughts and emotion through their karma. A discussion about the nature of the soul and the meaning of existence and fourfold path of yoga results from the subsequent conversation between Arjuna and Krishna. To relieve Arjuna from his sufferings and help him achieve the liberation and eternal happiness, Krishna slowly and skillfully teaches Arjuna how to apply the fundamental teachings of yoga in his life. The Gita is both a historical account of Krishna leading Arjuna into battle and a religious scripture describing the internal fight for self-mastery and the pursuit of bliss through yoga. Krishna informs us that in the Gita that yoga is a challenging and soothing discipline, the best and the shortest way to realize the divine, according to Krishna, is through the practice of karma yoga or selfless service. Once one has a solid foundation in karma yoga, one can move into more in-depth kind of meditation. Krishna places a lot of emphasis on the significance on that the faith and devotion play in achieving the unitive condition towards the end of the Gita. All the methods and doctrines that Krishna extols so highly are simply to apply and incorporate into daily lives. For millions of people who experience ecstasy at the mere mention of his name Krishna, while he remains a mystery to some. Krishna is regarded by the people as a leader, hero, defender, teacher, friend, philosopher, and all those things in one. In numerous ways, Krishna had shaped Indian culture, intellect, and behavior. Along with its philosophy and theology, he has inspired Indian folklore in all of its form, including its mysticism, literature, sculpture, dance, and music. That's all from my side. Namaste.